Hi, good morning, Shri.
Morning, Ramesh. How are you?
Doing fine.
Yeah.
It's a great morning as I see this the traffic kind of growing up, but we'll talk about that
Okay.
as we go. Viewers, welcome to yet another episode of Outbound by Highperformr. This is Ramesh and Shri. We are the co-founders of Highperformr,
Yep.
and today we're talking about something that we've slowly begun to imbibe in our company. We're slowly trying to see how can we get more efficient, how can we get more out of less. These are words, keywords that everyone is always speaking, but we're trying to put this into action. And we're making a few critical hires, and these hires are just agents, right? Every day we are hiring these agents, making them, training
Yeah.
them, trying to get more. And so Sri and I decided we should talk about this.
Yes.
And today, in the context of marketing, right? So how the rule book is getting completely rewritten. The marketing rule book is completely getting rewritten by AI and the agents that you are training for marketing. So, right. So most of the processes, right? If you think about it, Sri,
Yeah.
most of the processes that have been done in the past, they've all been designed for efficiency, right? They were, important way as we think about it is they were designed to ration scarcity.
Yes.
Right? It's as much as I put it, you put the best resource
Okay.
on running a workflow that is critical to business,
Correct.
and you think that that's the best performing workflow,
Okay.
right? In fact, Vinod Khosla had recently pointed out that we build workflows so that the most expensive resources, whether it's doctors, engineers, marketers, lawyers, are only tapped in these critical moments. And that's very true for marketing as well. You have the best marketer, be it a PMM. If you think that the PMM is the most important piece of the puzzle, you have the best PMM who you think is the best for that workflow.
Right.
And if you just think about it right now, that made sense when human time was scarcity. That was a bottleneck as well, right? But now with AI agents, you have the ability to get the same level of expertise as and when you need it. You demand that you want to get this done, it can be done. You don't have to think about, okay, this is a problem, let's keep it for later until we hire a resource.
Okay.
Right? We'll give you a lot of examples of how I've done. I'm just itching to talk about the web page that we did recently.
Yeah.
And a lot more, right? So, what do you think, Shri? I've been talking about a lot. I've spoken about Khosla. I've been talking about these agents.
I'm sure. I think in the space of AI, I think in the era of AI, in the last, I would say, 24 months, marketing has been quietly rewritten. I totally agree with you. And to the point you said, in the current world order, I don't think we need to ration anything anymore.
Yeah.
Right? And specifically, like marketing is one of the first areas where this shift is happening super quickly. It's happening very quickly, right?
Yeah.
The old way of working is by agencies. You have multi-level layers of approvals. You actually wait for the campaign to go live. It's been completely rewritten by the agentic, the AI workflow, and you can see that. When you talk to your customers, we've been talking to customers, even though we reach out to them to basically implement GTM workflows. What happens is that we invariably get into conversation into automation of their existing the marketing workflow, and you brought it up very clearly. The reason why there is slowness or there is like a kind of the speed is not in a sense is that because there's a lot of bottleneck on the human time.
Yeah.
So there are opportunity. In fact, things we thought would take few weeks time are taking few hours right now, right? Things we thought would require a bigger team, a larger team can be done in few people, right? With the help of an agent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? That's where it is. I think this is a great topic, Ramesh. I'm glad you picked it up. I'm sure
it's my daily bread and butter.
And also the marketing is going through a change.
Correct.
I think we are glad to be there in the cusp of things. But let's get, dive deeper into understanding what has been kind of broken in a traditional marketing, I would say, right?
Yeah, broken. This is often a very abused word. Everyone says, "Hey, that's broken. You got to fix it." But in true essence of marketing, as we speak, a lot of things have evolved, right?
Okay.
I'm just going to take a step back. Marketing was all known for its sexy headlines.
Okay.
You were known for its beautiful billboards.
Okay.
Your branding was the core word of marketing until maybe 2001, 2000, maybe 5, when you suddenly saw the world of Google go up, and then everything's transformed from branding to performance. And then you said, hey, performance marketing is the core. Who cares about what the billboard on a 101 is? Let's talk about performance marketing, because that's where you get the clicks. Correct. You know, it started becoming measurable. And then it went to conversions, you're optimizing for conversion, all that. So now with the, in advent of AI and all of that, what you thought was built for speed back in the day, right? And that you always used to ration the seller's time.
Everybody's time.
So for example, if your performance marketing was the core of your marketing team, you always ensured that the leads that were gotten by Google or for any of those were always hit upon first. Because that's where you're spending a lot of time and you want to ration it for time. But you also had other marketing functions in a company. You had the branding, you had PMM, you have... It wasn't even cared about, right? Much about. So marketers spent weeks planning campaigns. So if you were planning a branding campaign, you would go ahead, weeks, work with the agencies, shift everything from being, hey, performance marketing is great, but we're starting this new campaign. We got to go all out to see the better ROI. And then you had to tag each of these campaigns in your CRM, bring this teaching. So the problem was traditional marketing was constrained by the single resource who was supposed to be the best ROI, and you concentrate only on that, right?
So what you're saying in essence, Ramesh, everything was rationed. Right?
Absolutely.
And like marketing was the forefront of that, I'm sure, because every campaign takes weeks, or even like you said, brand. I've not seen a brand campaign get executed in less than a quarter.
Impossible.
Right? Like I've been through setups where the brand campaigns ran for a few quarters. Right?
Correct.
So in essence, everybody was rationed, and we also was taking it as it is coming, because all of them was taking time. And Ramesh, everything boils down to all of this resulted in the CRM becoming stale. We have kind of can listen to stories where I don't have a list of my customers updated at any given time, be my prospect, my leads, all of this where, because even updating your basic leads and the contact records, being able to log your calls, right, doing research, all of these things nobody wanted to do because they were manual and expensive.
Absolutely.
And as a result of which they were always pushed to the very end. They were not done upfront. But as a result of which, what happened? What you ended up in a kind of a dusty database, a dirty database, not even dusty, not a system of record.
True.
Right? That's the baseline we all have been starting to, be able to work with. I mean, that's a result.
Absolutely true.
That's what happens. Right?
Yeah.
Everything is rationed, top down. But now you enter like agentic AI, like what you're saying.
Yeah.
Now, give me
let's flip to something that happened on a daily basis.
Tell me what's happening now. Right?
We are talking about agentic AI, erasing these bottlenecks, having no... It's not that this is a critical path and let's take that path first. It erases that whole concept of critical path. Let's break it down with some examples.
Let's give some examples. I mean, I think, you and I have been going through this last almost 2 years, right? I would take the content as an example, right? First, let's take the content. We tried agencies, like every startup founder who thought, we can get things done faster. We went and tried few agencies, not just one.
That's true.
And we picked the best of the best. We got strong reference for everybody, both in India, outside India, globally, right? Then we hired we also hired a team kind of internally to support them. We thought we have the best of the both worlds.
Correct.
Right? But honestly, what happened? I think nothing moved the needle until like what we started with agents. Right? When we started agents to complement this whole setup, that's when suddenly we were able to see more.
Let me kind of also give the viewers some of the things that we did and why she says that we spent. So here is the thing, right? As entrepreneurs, the first thing that you want to put out publicly over there is our website.
Correct.
And it just can't, the first one was a framer, it says we are coming and all that, but it's got to mature. It's got to mature real fast.
Correct.
So we decided that we don't have the best content writers.
Correct.
Let's get the agency in.
We didn't have anybody.
Right?
You start getting an agency, right? Yeah.
Agency was expensive. It was really expensive.
Yeah. Because you
could not
choose the best of the agencies.
Yeah, and because we want to be world class, right?
Okay.
And it kind of consumed a lot of our energy with very less output, which means just again import we threw the best resource just for our website. The entire company, of course, 6 of us then,
Yes.
including the developers, were kind of trying to say, oh hey, we're investing a lot of money on our website. Let's see what leads are coming. Let's get more pages. Let's write more. So we just became pedantic. We became so obsessed with the website and the content that's coming. It didn't work out. Then we blamed it on the agency because we just thought that the quality of the content was poor. Fast forward 3 months later, we got another agency, a European agency this time.
Yeah.
And they come with their entire setup. They come with a lot of backing, a lot of social proof that why they work so well. Unfortunately, it didn't work for us.
Ramesh, if you just step back, I know it's a very interesting point and we're going through the flow, but just want to step back, right? It's nothing against the agencies per se, right? Agency really helped us get kind of a head start in having one page or website to having, let's say, maybe 100 pages, kind of relevant pages be applied there. Yeah. So but they don't solve for your problem. Right? That's the gap, right?
Yeah. Agencies would solve for the content that you want.
Correct.
Right? But what we want is output. We want traffic. We want conversions. Right? We want people to come and see.
Correct. Correct.
Because that's what you're building for. Each one has their own KPIs. Now cut it short to Agentic AIs, right? We moved another agency. They were a fantastic team. The way they kind of planned the content and put it out was awesome. We had internal writers, but again, traffic was going to the areas where we did not want. It was okay, and it wasn't like super through. So as a result, it was expensive again, and boom, we stopped.
Correct.
Over a period of 1 year, we've literally had 2 agencies, hundreds of thousands of dollars that we spent on them, and we've got nothing. And now, cut to the chase, in a world of Agentic AI, we are not boasting of a traffic heading to almost 100K now, and we were not obsessed. The team then was, because we had to support the agency, we hired an SEO manager, we hired a content writer, and we hired a head of content.
Correct.
And it didn't work. Now, this is not like I can put my collar up because we have a long way to go, but we still have just a single marketing person so far, but we have so many agents built that these are multiple tracks in marketing running, all towards converging towards just one metric, which is conversions.
Correct.
Right?
So
Traffic and conversions.
So what happened, Ramesh, if you just take a step back, instead of having a agency plus a team plus maybe you and I involved in reviewing meetings, and after that all of that busy work, there's less busy work.
No, it is.
There is very clear focus on what you want to do and how you want to achieve it, and you have an agent doing it for you. There is a person to review it, of course, an expert who reviews it. Context is actually complemented by an agent. Even you can basically put a new person, hire there, put them in with an agentic approach. You will be able to scale. And the most important thing is that it is super dependable.
Absolutely.
Right? And also consistent. The reason why we are seeing result in the last 12 months is because of an agentic setup, which has human plus agent setup, which has been able to consistently do it no matter what, every day in, day out. Right?
Yeah, we can today dream of getting to a touch to 1 million traffic, and the only reason for that is the agents.
Correct. I think the content is an example. I think most of them will agree. I'm sure everybody knew that today's the Gen AI LLM models, we're going to let you write the content. The one difference we are saying, you make it agentic in nature. That is good. So give me more examples, right? Give me more marketing examples.
Marketing example. Let's talk about PMM, a critical source in every other organization. No offense to any of the PMMs or the function. But the fact is, PMM is juggling a few things. Right? PMM is working with the product to get the best positioning of the product out in the market. Right? PMM is working with the sales enablement team to ensure that the product that is coming out or the feature set is being communicated, and then that needs to sell. It's hard because again, you put the best PMM there and surround them with the team to do these jobs for you. And what happens as a result? You may get the output, but it is time taking. You spend so much time getting to understand how salespeople work, what is their need, how do you interject within a campaign, right? You need competitor battle cards. You need positioning talks, right? Then you have to kind of have a training session. To be very honest, no offense again, but this entire piece was done, just by me, to be honest, right? And we had this very clearly done case of how are we going to run the sales organization. It mattered not about the campaign, but it mattered which about the most important metric, which is the sales coming in.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So agents, how did it work? I'll just give you a preview. My entire GPT knows my history. It knows Highperformr well enough, right? I just had to take them through the agent that was configured is more about how do you go behind, who do you contact first, what's the first pitch going to be, right? We have enough data. You just had to put that in. This agent kind of takes care to show, okay, for this kind of company, these are the people, these are the signals. For these kind of signals, go behind the script. It's absolutely fast.
Okay.
Right. So I don't need to put my best resource there is my GPT or the LLM model.
Ramesh, you're missing one. I mean, to add to what you're saying, the other missing portion is your judgment, right?
Oh yeah.
Agent doesn't replace the judgment, though.
Of course
your
not.
Judgment or the PMM judgment, but of course it helps you in. I'm sure it can do a better job in the competitive research, like battle cards, like you said, like be able to positioning statements and messaging at speed and scale.
Oh yes, that's the
of
full
course
point.
with your judgment, things can get scaled. Well, that's a good example.
Yeah,
A lot of PMM tasks.
Yep.
What else do you think from what you have seen? I mean, I want to basically make it very, very super critical about these are the use case which we have tried in the last, let's say, 12 months and we've seen success, and we will continue be able to build on top of it, right? So let's take one more example.
I think the other thing that I would like to talk about is we're talking about saving time, right?
Okay.
It's also about rewriting this entire workflows. When I say, I mean, most GTM teams, like I said, still ration on their best resource, and only certain things work at a particular piece of time. You brought up updating CRM.
Of course,
that's another marketing. There's a lead gen process that happens, and then there is a CRM. The biggest conflict is how can these two talk to each other.
I'll give an example, Ramesh. I'll give an example now that you bring the CRM part. Right? Historically, I'm not talking too far away, right? About a couple of years back, every seller, every SDR, AE, they had this, maybe an hour in the calendar on a Friday evening, a non-productive time to basically update the CRM.
And it never happened either.
that need not be the case, right? In fact, you shouldn't basically have a scenario where this is considered as a manual mundane task.
Yeah.
So agents can significantly help you real time. Keep it live and real time. Right?
Yeah.
Don't actually control the account research. Move it continuously. If there is a new sign up happens, immediately the research should be there in about, let's say, 5 minutes, right? And you should notify your team through Slack or whatever is the messaging mechanism. And then that's how you should do it. Don't, for example, if there's a meeting maybe, let's say, a meeting is scheduled for a demo about 2 days from now, you don't have to be unprepared. Imagine you get an email which has all that required, the pre-prep for the meeting.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good example. The other workflow example, specifically when you're working with an agency.
Correct.
The core of any performance, brand, digital marketing is the creative which goes out.
Okay.
Now, creatives are seldom, it's very perception driven. It's got to say, she likes one, I don't like one.
Yeah.
And, we
happens all the time,
either agree to disagree, or we say, okay, let's get a new set. There's a lot of time that goes back and forth. You have the best agency, by the way, to go and get these creatives.
Okay.
But it's a factor of time. It takes at least a week for you to iterate before the next setup comes. Now, what we've done at Hyper, we've launched this ourselves because we tried it for Highperformr and said, okay, screw you. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You don't care. So these agents today are able to completely come up with ads as part of creatives. It could be Google ads, it could be creatives on LinkedIn, it could be any of these.
Correct.
And, it with just so many context that it has, these agents are chugging out amazing set of creatives.
Interesting point, Ramesh. When you said creatives, I think creative has a nuance, right? We know we've been trying Google for decades now, and everybody wants to try an alternate platform.
Yeah.
But the amount of effort it takes to churn that the creative for the different ad platform, the payload along with it, the headline, the subtext, the keywords, all of that takes time, and hence, in fact, that is one of the key reasons. In fact, we went back and we spoke to a bunch of marketers to understand what is preventing them to try multiple platforms sometimes. It is only about the bandwidth and ability to come out with quality content and these payload. So, agentic approach can solve for it.
It solves very well.
I would just take a step back and ask you, I think now that we've given very practical example of things we have tried and worked out. If you have to rewrite, if you wanted to suggest the founders and the marketers for them to do rewrite some of the workflows, do you have any suggestions?
I think the first suggestion that I would think about is when we are talking, right? Again, if you're an AI first company, we're always telling people, befriend AI, be with them,
Yes.
right? And you're always thinking, make AI your boss or for your first line of manager to say, hey, where can I apply AI? More
Correct,
AI,
correct,
right?
correct.
Because sometimes you also get carried away with flavor of the season. Where can I apply more AI? Instead, you should start asking, what am I rationing right now that I don't need to ration anymore?
Correct.
Right? What am I doing sparsely that I can start scaling?
Okay.
Right? It's a different perspective. It's not about asking AI anymore because that's becoming the norm. The next step from there is, what am I rationing? Of course, if it's money that needs to be spent, you got to still ration it. But outside of that, the workflow that you're thinking about, what can I ration? What did I use to ration before that I can now think about getting it done? Right? I think that's a big question. That will be the real unlock that.
So when you say ration, you mean like bottleneck.
The bottleneck.
So ask yourself the question: how can I get it done sooner, without spending more, but still unblocking things which were the bottlenecks, right?
Correct.
I mean, do you have examples of where
we spoke about all of this, right? We spoke about creatives, we spoke about content, we spoke about CRM hygiene, talk about comparative research that you want to either put up on a web page or you want to talk about it with your battle cards that you want to talk. You want to talk about sales enablement in marketing to say, hey, what can I enable my sales guy to perform better, right? These are typical areas where you think that sales enablement is only for an organization that has 100 plus, and then you bring on the function. You have a function built around. It's not the need anymore.
Correct.
Right? Correct. Today, do not think function wise anymore. Think about all of these workflows converging into just one cause, which is, how can I get a customer far more easier?
But Ramesh, if you just want to be very clear, just to take a step back, because I'm just asking for the audience, everybody will think, hey, you know what, I'm using ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini day in, day out. So what are these guys talking about, right? So there's a difference between using ChatGPT, Claude, and on a daily basis on a session, because you also mentioned about I use my chat and all of that. Here it's an agent which automates end to end, which means that if you're talking about a research.
Thanks for bringing that point. That's very important.
The computer killed the output should be a document which will be sent to you an email or a Slack message.
Correct.
So all the manual steps have to be automated, and the delivery should be basically a PDF or a slide deck or whatever. Because in today's agents are capable of that. Please don't stop with just kind of writing a prompt and having a session. That doesn't scale after a point.
Correct.
Right? Typically, I think everybody's using today. I think like what me and Ramesh are talking about is, how do you automate end-to-end workflow where you could take people out of that particular workflow and have them focus on more particular things. I just want that everybody's on the same page on that.
It's these workflows that can be completely taken all the way to the last mile of connectivity with the sales folks and also sometimes with the customer. Right? You're talking about emails today. Email marketing was always the biggest headache. Everyone knows it's got a. People talk about email marketing being dead on one end, but if you really have fantastic copy based on the context, it still is a great tool because it reaches the mailbox, but you cannot keep iterating manually over a period of time. Right? That workflow can save a lot of time today in this new age marketing agentic way of marketing.
So what you're saying is that pick up one. I mean, you could start with the basics. I think Ramesh mentioned about what we spoke about multiple use cases. Take one process.
Yeah.
I think in your GTM team, which you feel has either been bottleneck. Right. And like waiting for the ad creative or for manually updating your CRM. I keep going back to CRM historically, right? And then what you wanted to see is that, hey, is it a workflow which an agent can support? Go to the market, you go find out products like Highperformr, where you'll be able to automate some of these workflows already. Right? There will be a template already available. Pick it up or run it, and you'll see the result. You cannot go to the default LLM models or any of these models and expect the workflow to be done there yet. Right? I think that's what I would want to communicate here as well.
I mean, it will unlock a whole lot of value. You will see time. I mean, it's also between how you think about putting this workflow together, right? Thinking about it in expansive rather than thinking, okay, let me get done with the content first. Let me then publish it on Webflow. I mean, that's a way of thinking. Even if you have the content, it doesn't mean it's live and ready.
Of course.
Right? Today, there are workflows that can be completely automated, all running parallel engines at the same time. Right? So you don't have to think about it serially, think about it in parallel. Writing content is one agent. The workflow that gets it into Webflow and optimizing is the second agent.
Correct.
Getting it live and ensuring that there are 3 other blogs to support that page. I'm just giving an example, is also an agent that goes along with it. And finally, when you look at it, you can then run a battle card agent because you have these components that run. Then you run a sales enablement agent to tell your sales folks on what needs to be done.
Okay.
Then so if you see, there are multiple functions of marketing all converging today, and that is the agentic workflow that we need to talk about, right? It's just not content. Okay, now let's do the ad creative. It's not serially done. It is done parallelly.
So what you're saying is redesign your workflow. For a world there is the abundance of expertise. It is actually contra to what we've been told. I think pre-2020 era, you would be asked to kind of work with your constrained resources.
Absolutely.
Right? So what you're asking, Ramesh, is like it's a radically different way of thinking where, as a startup founder, as a marketer, as any GTM person, if you're looking at doing something or accomplish something, look at it like there is an abundance of expertise.
Exactly.
Now, how do you look at the problem solved, right? And that is, that's a way, maybe the new way.
And traditionally, Sri, also companies and departments are run with outcomes belonging to that department.
Okay.
Right? When you say content, yes, it's gone live.
Yeah.
Right?
But
traffic is someone else's headache. And then when traffic comes, there is a sign up.
Yeah.
And then when there's a sign up, it's a workflow to get into the CRM. And from there on, it's the sales. But in this new world, what I'm saying is, let these agents run parallelly with the only metric being either a sign up or sales. And that's possible today.
Okay. So I think what you're saying is use agentic AI, remove the bottleneck and see what happens.
Absolutely.
And keep us posted. I think this is what we've been seeing in the last at least last 2 years, working through Highperformr ourselves. So, but happy to know your feedback, know your comments.
And if you want a playbook, let us know.
Yeah.
We'd be happy to do that as well. Or we can happy to share our own playbook. That's not going to take too long either. Right?
Here you go. Until the next one.
Absolutely. See you guys on the other side. Subscribe our channel and let us know what else you want to know.
Thank you.
Bye.